Some stories grip the world, not because they inspire, but because they shock.
Susan Levy came to our city with a mission. She wanted to know where her daughter was, what happened to Chandra.
From unsolved murders to shocking betrayals.
We are serving a search warrant on this property, and we would like to recover evidence in the furtherance of the investigation involving the disappearance of Zebb Quinn.
The 21st century has seen various scandals and tragedies that have captured global attention. Let's dive into some of the most chilling, controversial, and unforgettable cases that defined an era, where the truth is stranger than fiction and the consequences are felt far beyond the courtroom. Let's start with the chilling disappearance of 18-year-old Zebb Quinn, which was later turned into haunting questions that remain unanswered to this day. Zebb Quinn. In January 2000, Zebb Quinn, an 18-year-old Walmart employee in Asheville, North Carolina, disappeared after leaving work. He was last seen with his coworker, Jason Owens, who claimed they were heading to look at a used car. On the way, Zebb reportedly received a page, made a phone call, and then drove off in a hurry, leaving Jason behind. Zebb was never seen again.
Quinn, a Walmart employee, had coordinated with Robert Owens, a friend and coworker, to buy a new car in neighboring Leicester. However, they never made it as planned. Owens claimed that Quinn began acting erratically and left, never to be seen again.
There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about Zebb and wonder where he is.
2 weeks later, Zebb's car was found at a barbecue restaurant with bizarre details. Lips drawn on the back window, a puppy inside, and random items, including a hotel key that couldn't be traced. These clues added mystery, but no clear answers. Jason Owens became the primary suspect. He was the last person to see Zebb, checked into an urgent care center the day after Zebb disappeared, and later called Zebb's workplace pretending to be him. Police also found his behavior suspicious, but could not gather enough evidence to arrest him at the time. Zebb's disappearance remained unsolved for years. Rumors included a possible love triangle involving a woman named Misty Taylor and her abusive boyfriend, Wesley Smith. Zebb reportedly had a crush on Misty, which led to speculation about a motive, but no concrete evidence linked anyone to his disappearance.
And it turns out it was Jason Owens calling in saying that he was Zebb Quinn and that he was not going to be in to work. And I knew that was not Zebb's voice. And so as soon as he hung up, I hit star 69 on the phones to find out that it was traced to Volvo Construction Company where Jason Owens worked.
About the relationship between Misty Taylor and Zebb's crush on her and Wesley Smith, the boyfriend.
In 2015, Jason Owens was arrested for murdering JT and Christy Codd, a couple expecting a baby. He claimed he accidentally ran them over, but later admitted to dismembering and burning their remains to cover up the crime. This horrific case reopened interest in Zebb Quinn's disappearance. While investigating the Codd case, police searched Jason Owens' property and found potential evidence linked to Zebb's case. Owens eventually confessed to witnessing his uncle, Gene Owens, shoot Zebb in the woods. According to Jason, Gene had lured Zebb there under pretenses and killed him. Jason admitted to helping cover up the crime by burning Zebb's body.
We are serving a search warrant on this property, and we would like to recover evidence in the furtherance of the investigation involving the disappearance of Zebb Quinn.
Jason Owens pleaded guilty to the Codd murders and received a life sentence without parole. In Zebb's case, he claimed his silence was due to fear of his uncle, who he said was capable of killing him too. Gene Owens had died by the time charges were brought, leaving Jason as the only one accountable for Zebb's disappearance.
Darcel, police aren't saying anything about what they found, like whether it was human bones or if they believe they have discovered Quinn's remains. So these documents still leave us with a lot of questions.
Those search warrants released Monday tell us what investigators involved in Quinn's case found. Fabric, leather materials, unknown hard fragments, unknown white powder substance, metal, and concrete are the listed items seized from Owens' property on that day.
Although Zebb's family finally learned what happened, doubts linger. Jason's account cannot be fully verified, and no physical remains of Zebb have ever been recovered. Many believe the justice system failed to provide complete accountability, especially since Gene Owens was never charged. The case leaves a lasting impact as an example of unresolved questions and partial justice, even decades later. Let's move on to another mysterious disappearance of 24-year-old Chandra Levy and follow the key events that shaped the investigation. Chandra Levy. In April 2001, Chandra Levy, a 24-year-old intern in Washington, D.C., vanished without a trace. She was supposed to return to her hometown of Modesto, California for her graduation, but never made it. Her parents grew concerned after not hearing from her and contacted the police. Investigators searched her apartment and found her belongings, including her identification, credit cards, and packed bags still inside. It was as if she planned to leave, but never did.
We got down to her apartment, and I remember seeing the police outside.
Chandra's disappearance soon drew national attention, partly because it was revealed that she had a secret friend. Congressman Gary Condit from her hometown district. Condit initially denied any romantic involvement, but it later came to light that he and Chandra had been in a relationship. His reluctance to admit this made him look suspicious, and the investigation began focusing on him. The story of Chandra's disappearance captivated the media, especially cable news networks, which covered it non-stop. Her mother, Susan Levy, became a prominent figure in the search, speaking publicly and demanding answers about her daughter's fate. The media frenzy was fueled by the scandal surrounding Chandra's affair with the married congressman. Despite the attention, Gary Condit was never charged or officially named a suspect. He underwent a private polygraph test and maintained his innocence. However, his refusal to discuss his relationship with Chandra raised suspicions and kept the spotlight on him. He later appeared in a television interview but avoided questions about the affair, citing respect for the Levy family.
Condit was silent for a long time about this. He didn't want to admit that he had anything more than a casual friendship with Chandra Levy.
As investigators worked to uncover what happened to Chandra, they faced challenges. There were no immediate leads or witnesses to explain her disappearance. The case gained momentum throughout the summer of 2001 with constant coverage and public interest. But everything changed on September 11, 2001, when the terrorist attacks shifted the nation's focus. The Chandra Levy story faded from the headlines. For years, Chandra's case remained unresolved. Investigators and her family continued to search for answers, but no clear evidence emerged to explain how or why she disappeared. Now, let's look at the next case. Elliott Smith, a talented musician whose tragic death is still a mystery, leaving behind beautiful music and many unanswered questions. Elliott Smith. Elliott Smith, born in Nebraska in 1969, was an incredible musician and songwriter who created some of the most touching music of his time. He grew up in Texas but moved to Portland at 14 to escape a troubled relationship with his stepfather. This experience deeply influenced his music, and many of his songs reflect the pain and struggles of his early life. Elliott's music garnered more attention after Good Will Hunting, but fame was challenging for him. He struggled with depression, anxiety, and substance abuse. Despite his personal battles, he continued making music, signing with DreamWorks Records and releasing XO in 1998 and Figure 8 in 2000. These albums showcase his growth as an artist, with beautiful arrangements and heartfelt lyrics. Elliott's mental health worsened in the early 2000s. He moved from Portland to Brooklyn and then Los Angeles, trying to escape his struggles. His paranoia grew, and he believed he was being followed. His live performances became erratic, and he relied on fans to help him remember lyrics. Friends and family tried to help, but Elliott found it difficult to recover. On October 21st, 2003, at the age of 34, Elliott Smith died in Los Angeles. During an argument with his girlfriend, he reportedly stabbed himself in the chest. The exact circumstances of his death remain unclear, and the coroner's report listed it as undetermined. His death left fans and loved ones devastated. Elliott Smith's music lives on through his 6 solo albums, 2 posthumous collections, and the love of his fans. His songwriting combined beautiful melodies with raw, emotional lyrics that deeply connected with listeners. His influence is felt in the work of many modern musicians, including Phoebe Bridgers and Beck. His fan memorial in Los Angeles at the Figure 8 Memorial remains a place of tribute. Now let's turn to the haunting case of the Jameson family, a family of 3 whose mysterious disappearance and tragic discovery left behind more questions than answers. Jameson Family. The Jameson family, consisting of Bobby, Sherilyn, and their 6-year-old daughter, Madison, appeared to be seeking a fresh start when they vanished under mysterious circumstances. Living near Eufaula, Oklahoma, the family dreamed of moving to a remote mountain property in Latimer County. In early October 2009, they set out to explore a piece of land they were considering purchasing. What should have been a simple day trip turned into one of Oklahoma's most chilling, unsolved mysteries. Their abandoned pickup truck was found a short time later in the Sandboys Mountains.
Sky 5 flew over the Sandboys Mountains where hunters found the skeletal remains of 2 adults and a child. This is the same area where Bobby and Sherilyn Jameson disappeared with their young daughter.
About an hour from their home. Inside the vehicle, investigators uncovered a series of strange clues. The family's wallets, IDs, and cell phones were still there, along with $32,000 in cash, a staggering amount to leave behind. Even more troubling was the discovery of the family's dog, malnourished but alive, locked inside the truck. There were no signs of struggle or foul play near the vehicle, leaving investigators baffled as to why the Jamesons would abandon their belongings, money, and beloved pet. Speculation about the family's fate has fueled countless theories over the years. Some believe the Jamesons may have fallen victim to foul play, possibly connected to the large sum of cash in their truck. Others suspect that family conflicts, including reports of marital issues and mental health struggles, could have played a role. There are also more unusual theories, such as the family being influenced by their spiritual beliefs or fears of evil spirits, as Sherilyn had previously spoken about such concerns. Another possibility is that they encountered someone dangerous while exploring the remote mountains. Despite extensive investigations, the mystery remains unsolved. The strange clues, an abandoned truck, a starving dog, a hidden stash of cash, and skeletal remains paint a haunting and incomplete picture. The Jameson family's tragic story continues to leave both investigators and the public searching for answers. It stands as one of the most unsettling and perplexing cases in modern history, a chilling reminder of how quickly an ordinary day can turn into an unspeakable tragedy. Now, let's explore the heartbreaking case of Kyron Horman, a 7-year-old boy who vanished without a trace from his school science fair, leaving behind a mystery that still haunts his family and community. Kyron Horman. Kyron Horman, a bright and happy 7-year-old boy, vanished on June 4th, 2010, from Skyline Elementary School in Portland, Oregon. That morning, Kyron attended the school's science fair with his stepmother, Terry Horman. He proudly displayed his project on the red-eyed tree frog, posing for a picture that Terry later posted on Facebook. After walking around the school together to view other projects, Terry claimed she last saw Kyron walking towards his classroom before she left the school. When Kyron didn't come home on the school bus that afternoon, his father, Kane Horman, became alarmed. Kane, who was at work earlier that day, rushed to the bus stop to meet his son, only to be told by the bus driver that Kyron was not on the bus. Frantic, Kane and Terry drove to the school to search for him. They learned from Kyron's teacher that he never attended class that day. Shocked and terrified, they contacted the police. and a massive search effort began.
Kyron's story. The then 7-year-old went missing in June of 2010. He was last seen at Skyline Elementary School in Northwest Portland. His stepmother says that she took Kyron to Skyline Elementary, attended a science fair with him there, and then watched him go down the hallway to his classroom. But the school says he never made it to class.
Authorities launched an exhaustive search, covering a 2-mile radius around the school and nearby areas, including a remote island along the Columbia River. Despite their efforts, there was no signs of Kyron. His disappearance baffled investigators and the community. Witnesses at the school reported seeing Terry leave the building, but accounts varied. Some claimed to have seen Kyron with her, while others said she left alone. Terry's actions after Kyron's disappearance raised suspicions. She had told police she had driven her young daughter around on country roads to calm an earache and had stopped at a gym and grocery store. Cell phone records showed her phone pinged in areas north of Portland, but there were gaps in her timeline. Surveillance footage from the grocery stores was inconclusive, as it was unclear if Kyron was in the truck with her. Kyron's family has worked tirelessly to find him. His father, Kane, has publicly shared his heartbreak and urged anyone with information to come forward. Investigators continue to receive tips, and age-progressed photos of Kyron have been released to help the public recognize what he might look like today. The family has offered a $50,000 reward for information leading to answers about Kyron's fate. Kyron Horman's disappearance remains one of the most haunting missing persons cases in recent history. The last confirmed sighting of him was at his school science fair, a place that should have been safe. Over 14 years later, the question of what happened to Kyron still lingers. His family, the authorities, and the public continue their search for answers, holding on to hope that one day Kyron will be found.
We spoke to Kyron's mother, Desiree Young, who says after 14 years, she is still optimistic that this year could be the year that there's a break in the case. But that doesn't make the waiting any easier.
These shocking and infamous cases serve as haunting reminders of the darkest corners of human nature and the mysteries. From chilling disappearances to unsettling revelations, each story leaves behind a trail of questions and emotions that refuse to fade with time. They compel us to seek truth, demand justice, and honor the lives forever changed or lost. Together, we can help bring justice, closure, and answers to the unsolved and unforgettable. Which case resonated with you the most? Share your thoughts and let us know which case made the deepest impact on you. Follow, share, and engage, because every voice matters in the pursuit of truth.